Cryptic Humility.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Cryptic Humility. My name is Vanessa Hurley. I'm going to be your host and your guide to all things trustworthy in crypto and the foreign exchange market. Basically, the reason why I'm here is because we are experiencing a massive pandemic, if you will, in regards to false information being spread about crypto, about the foreign exchange market, about being a day trader, about investing. And I want to bring justice to TikTok, to YouTube, to other social media platforms, to other people trying to learn about crypto in the foreign exchange market. And basically, I am here today to share with you guys my story, how I ended up right here with you, and how I think we can solve all these issues that are happening in crypto. So, I'm 25, but I was once an 18-year-old who went to college, and I ended up going to Bryant University in Rhode Island. It was like a traditional business school. I was pretty much on my own there. I knew that I wanted to get into finance, but I just was very foolish. Nobody was really guiding me in that time frame. I lived just with my mom and my brother before I moved to college, and my dad had passed like a couple of years prior. So at a young age, I was really independent, and which led to a lot of foolishness, which you guys are going to hear about. So I got involved with somebody on social media the second semester of freshman year in college. Once I settled in, I was really struggling with money, and just like anybody and any college student, before TikTok even existed, I wanted to get wealthy. I wanted to find a way to success, and unfortunately, this was when Instagram was at its prime, and we relied on Instagram for everything. But basically, somebody had messaged me on Instagram. She was from Hawaii, and she asked me to get involved in the foreign exchange market. Now, I had no knowledge at this time. You ever look back to a previous you and how joyous and carefree and very borderline foolish you were? That was me, and I had no idea what the foreign exchange market was just yet, but this girl introduced me to it through social media. Long story short, I started talking to her, and she wanted me to get involved in artificially intelligent software, so AI software, with day trading in the FX market. I was somebody that just went to school, was just making friends. Like, I had no idea what she was talking about. And it took me months of working with her and still not figuring out. I later found out it was because I wasn't being educated correctly. But for the sake of the story, I'm going to keep going. So I got involved. I ended up downloading the software, like going on Owanda, downloading this artificially intelligent software she was recommending. I became an affiliate. We all know where this is going. I became an affiliate, and of course, after some time, I realized that it was a massive pyramid scheme. It's not to say that artificially intelligent software in the FX market in crypto couldn't be legit, but this whole company was just built on a pyramid scheme. I found out that she ended up moving to Hawaii, rooming with like 20 to 30 or like some crazy amount of people who were all like absorbed into this company trying to like sell it and do sales with it. And I ended up losing after probably about 6 months. I ended up losing $2,000 in the whole process with her, which for a college student is devastating. I already didn't have any money. That was basically like all the money I had saved to get me through freshman year, which was pretty good, but it was devastating. So like anybody else, I just took my losses and moved forward in life. And then in 2020, I started the nonprofit, which we're going to talk about later. I'm going to introduce you guys a little more to myself later on. But so I started the nonprofit in around 2020, and I had an old friend of mine who was taking my photos for the nonprofit. So this had to be fall time, I'm pretty sure, like fall season. And I hung out with him. We were talking, took my photos, everything went great. I was talking to him about like my interest in crypto and FX, and he said that him and a couple of his friends were getting messages on Instagram, like trying to convince them to join into this artificially intelligent scheme. And I was like, no way. And after talking to a few other people as well, I realized that this is a massive issue in crypto. One of the biggest issues in the FX market and crypto market is there are so many people trying to teach you about it that genuinely do not know what they're talking about. Like imposter syndrome. And I'm not saying that I'm some pro. You guys are going to hear my credibility later on, but it was crazy to me how many people on social media were just selling people on that get rich quick mentality. And it was a little embarrassing for me because I fell for it. And so many people fall for it because we're going through hard times, or we're trying to make ends meet, or we're looking for a way and we think that this is the way that God's leading us, and really it's just deception, which is really sad. But I realized, holy crap, so many people low-key have been going through what I went through, and I feel like this is very unjust. I also felt like a little bit of a calling to start learning more about crypto, start learning more about the FX market. By the way, next episode is all about the foreign exchange market. This episode is just a debrief of why you should be here, but next episode we're diving into the history of things so we can start from scratch. So if you are new to crypto or FX and you want to learn about the markets, genuinely join the podcast, follow the podcast. I'm going to be posting every Monday at around 6 a.m. I'm going to strive to 6 a.m. But so we can start from ground one and work our way up so you can understand why things evolved the way they did. Before crypto evolved, the FX market, and how did the FX market evolve so you can better understand crypto. That's the first issue, is that there's so many people out here teaching about the FX market, the crypto market, imposter syndrome, and nobody knows exactly what is going on and the best way to teach. For the last 6 years, I have made it my absolute mission to learn foreign exchange market and cryptocurrency so I could teach people about it. That went from me being a junior in college and sending out my ideas to everybody on Bryant University's campus. Anytime I could talk about crypto or the foreign exchange market, I would. Talking to people about how much they knew, talking to people about their experiences. Have they ever invested in it? How are they investing? What are they using Discord? Like anything I could get to know with other people about crypto and what they thought the problems were in crypto, I would. And that was about my junior and senior year. And all summer of junior year, I wrote my business plan for my business idea. For this whole podcast, this is the foundation of the business idea. But basically, I gathered this idea after talking to so many people that we need one platform that teaches all accurate resources in the foreign exchange market and crypto. I'm talking classes, educational programs, coaches, podcasts, news events, all credible people that can be trusted to teach you effectively need to be on this platform. So I started talking to people about my ideas, it got a lot of good feedback. Clearly, here we are. And I ended up senior year of college doing a 30-page directed study in the foreign exchange market in crypto, which helped me learn immensely about the markets. But also, I ended up applying to this mentor program called RI Hub, which is a sister organization to MIT. And I was like, I got recommended by one of my teachers. It was so random. And I was so nervous to apply because I thought I was going to get rejected. And obviously it's so intimidating dealing with people who are brilliant and you want their approval. But I was like, all right, whatever. I applied, and within a week, I got a notice letter that my idea had been accepted by 3 MIT mentors, and I literally shit my pants. I was scared. Like, I can't tell you guys the feeling that I felt in that moment. It was kind of like a moment coming from the universe where, wow, everything I've been doing and all this research and all this talking to people, it's my calling. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. I feel aligned with the universe and with God that I am supposed to be teaching people about crypto and the FX market. My mentors loved my idea. I worked with them for a period of time to get to this point, and it has been a crazy journey ever since. I've been on social media, but basically the whole point of this story that I wanted to touch upon before we move forward is that there is so much potential in the crypto and the FX world, but as you guys know, there are so many schemes going on. There's so many fraud schemes going on. Like, I just heard that Hawk Tua girl, which, seriously, guys, I'm gonna have to create another podcast because I need to steer us all straight. Why are we making certain people famous? Like, I think we need to have an awakening of the people that we give influence and power, and if we should in fact be giving them influence and power. But that, you guys are gonna have to segment that in another episode for me and like get that side out of me. But like, for now, strictly business. I know that there's so many fraud schemes going on in crypto and the FX market, and I just don't understand because, as you will hear throughout the podcast, crypto has so much potential. The second biggest issue is that nobody understands it. So not only do we not have credible teachers, but because we don't have credible teachers, nobody can effectively learn. It's not to say that you can't go and learn on your own. Of course, you can go and learn on your own and become a Bitcoin billionaire and make it. But that takes so much time and so many hours compared to having somebody that has already been through it to guide you and help you and protect you from all these scams and fraud schemes of you investing your money into a platform and then whoever created the platform takes all the money and dies and you never hear from them again. We don't have a credible platform. We do have Coinbase. Like, we do have credible platforms, but we don't have one platform solely for education, at least in the way that I'm envisioning it could go. And of course I have other ideas, but that would just be the founding idea for the business. I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for people to check out the Fox website that I created, click around on it, see what you would be engaged in, see what you would be interested in. Would you put any skin into the website if I had you pay $10 a month? Like, let me know how we can solve this issue together, because obviously if you're watching this, you want to be successful in crypto. You at least want to be educated in it. Maybe you're starting out and you need that guidance. And what I'm providing to you is that guidance in a platform with all the best intent in it. So yeah, we don't have credible people teaching, and we do, but we're going to be here all day if I have to justify myself for everything. You guys know where I'm coming from. Basically, we do have credible people, but I want to bring all credible people together. I want all the credible people in one spot. I don't want to have to, which is what I had to do when I was learning Forex and crypto, is go to YouTube to watch this person and then have to go on TikTok and watch this person. And then, is this person on Instagram even credible? And okay, yeah, they're showing me that they're trading, but they're not really teaching me this. And I don't understand how they got there. I want to solve all those problems in crypto and the FX market and give you guys a safe community where we can all hang out to learn, to chat, to share with each other ideas, and to stay in the loop about what is real and what is fake in the FX and crypto market. I'm going to shift gears really quickly. We are going to go over some current news at the end of the podcast episode to keep us up to date, but I want to share a little bit about myself and a little bit about the podcast and how it's going to run. So I was thinking of doing every Monday, of course, around 6 a.m. in case you're driving to work, only 20 to 30 minutes of episodes. The first 20 minutes are going to be like a class. I'm going to teach you a lesson in anything. Like, for example, our next podcast episode is going to be the history of FX. So the history of Forex, how we got to Forex, why Forex is important, what influences the foreign exchange market, all important things you need to know, from day trading, computer software, everything you would need in case you want to start trading in the FX market, and from head to toe, how to get started on that. We'll talk for about 20 minutes there. And then usually at the end of every single episode, I'd like to do a news event. So I'd like to teach you guys about the current news. Maybe we can talk about market trends, new coins that are coming out, new programs, and just learn and stay up to date with what's going on in the crypto market as best as we possibly can. I am planning on having guest speakers, and that's a whole nother thing. If you are interested in coming on the podcast, please let me know. I am just starting out, obviously, and I want to meet more credible people. If you feel as though that you are a credible person in the FX or crypto market, reach out to us via email. Let me know that you're interested in being on the podcast. Specifically right now in upcoming episodes, I'm looking for somebody that can talk about and wants to talk more about crypto mining. Specifically the energy use of crypto mining and how that could be a benefit and disadvantage to us, and also a benefit or disadvantage to our competitors, like across the country, across the globe. So definitely, if you're interested in coming on the podcast, let me know. To switch gears really quickly, I want to talk a little bit about myself, which won't happen much on the podcast since we're going to be very business, news, and education oriented. But so, like I said earlier, I'm 25 years old. I live in the North Shore area of Massachusetts. Grew up with an older brother, so I am pretty, whatever. My family is from Italy on my mom's side. My dad's side is Italian and Irish. Everything I have to do in my life has to have meaning. I am a former gym rat. I have lost over 40 pounds on my fitness journey. I've been in the gym for over 10 years. I've done everything from cross country, figure skating, field hockey, soccer, basketball, cheerleading, everything. I don't know, did I already say cross country? Like, I am very active. I love to be active. My life, I love to have meaningful things in it. Nothing I take on is purposeless. Everything that I'm doing and working on has to have a deeper purpose of why I'm doing it. This project is because I think the foreign exchange market and crypto deserve justice. I think they have infinite potential to go somewhere in our society. I think it gives us an advantage over our competitors, which we're going to talk about in future episodes. I started a nonprofit in 2020, which we're coming back to, and I run a community garden in Boxford, Mass, where all the produce that we grow gets shipped to local homeless shelters and food banks in need. That to me is super meaningful. It gives me purpose. I know that I'm putting good energy and good karma back out to the universe, which will come back to me. And it's just being selfless fulfills you more. This business idea is a selfless idea to help other people. The nonprofit was a selfless idea to help other people. In pursuit of that, I don't neglect myself. If anybody was worried about me, I take really good care of myself. I believe so much in positivity and having a positive mindset, building your relationship with God, believing in yourself, and working hard to achieve what it is you want to achieve. And that is solely because I learned that mentality from my grandparents when they came here and worked super hard, invested in a business. My parents invested in a business. Like, being an entrepreneur, specifically in this purpose of helping people, is my purpose. So nothing I do means nothing. Everything I do means everything to me. I'm trying to think how my friends would describe me. Number one, everything about me is red. I drive a red Honda Civic. I usually have red nails, even down to the gum that I chew. Which, this is really controversial because I chew cinnamon gum, and cinnamon gum and I have a lot in common, because people either love cinnamon gum or they hate it and they can't stand it. And I think that's a lot of times how people feel about me, because I am a very direct person. I'm very intuitive. I see through things very clearly, and I'm very spiritually connected. So it's hard to manipulate and control me, and I feel like a lot of people either have mad respect for that and are my equal or can't stand me because of those reasons. None of them really matter to me because I'm always going to be me. I hope that you get to see more of me on this podcast and get to know me. And every single podcast episode, if there are any questions you have about the podcast, definitely on TikTok or YouTube, comment below one of the podcast episode small clips that I post and ask me a question. I'm going to try at the beginning or the end of the next episode talk about a Q&A, so questions and answers of the previous podcast episode. If there's a better way I could do that in time, I'll sort it out. But for now, we're just going to go with it. So if you have questions as you're watching, ask. Definitely ask on social media, and I will try my best to get them answered for you on here and bring you the justice that you deserve. Let's finalize this podcast episode off. I really want to talk about current news. Nothing crazy for this podcast episode. I really want to start with talking about which I know a lot of people will be talking to me, but I want to talk about Donald Trump. Before we get into him, because I know that that is a slippery slope. By the way, I voted for Donald Trump, so I think I just need to get that out there. I know that for other people, it's hard to hear this, but remember when I said earlier in this podcast episode that people are confused about crypto? People are confused about crypto, and I want to give an example to this. Basically, I give the bank money to deposit into my account. The person who is the bank teller is verifying that I gave them the money and is putting it in my account. When you're using the Bitcoin blockchain, for example, when you're buying and selling Bitcoin, you have a public and a private key. Your public key is for everybody to access in case they want to send you money. Your private key is sort of like, I don't want to say your social security number, but like it's sort of like a private bank account number that only you have where you can manage your funds. When you have a public and a private key and you're investing in Bitcoin and you're investing on that blockchain, you have control of your money. You essentially are your own bank, and there is no third party verifying the transaction. So if I want to send money to one of my friends that like lives across the country, I can send it to her like via Bitcoin on the blockchain. So I don't have to go to the bank and ask them to convert my money, verify the transaction, and then send it to my friend and have the bank be that regulation. Or same thing for PayPal, taking Bitcoin out of it. If I want to send somebody money, PayPal is that third party regulator that is confirming the transaction and confirming the money that's being sent. In the simplest of terms, we are just relying on technology now to do those things for us. So I can have more security over my finances, over my data, over my privacy. I can have more control over my money. This is why the banks and the government don't like that, is because when you're not investing or putting your money into the bank, then the banks can't use your money. The government can't regulate and see your money and where your money is going. Dude, like, Lord protect me. Lord protect me, because it's the truth, and it's crazy, but Bitcoin and blockchain is giving you an opportunity to control your money entirely by yourself. So you might be asking, Vanessa, well, if that's the case, then how are we going to verify that I sent this money? How am I not going to be able to just double spend or like counterfeit, send fake money? That's where the technology comes in on the blockchain. So we have to touch upon this really quickly in order for you to understand the news event that I want to bring up with Donald Trump, which is World Liberty Financial, if you've already heard about that. If you haven't or have, definitely stay and listen to what I'm thinking about it. But crypto miners are the ones verifying transactions. So these are people that want to do crypto mining, which we're going to have a whole episode for crypto mining, but those people are regulating the transactions on the blockchain. So as I'm sending payment to Sarah across seas, She has my public key, or I have her public key. I'm able to send her money. And then crypto miners can verify transactions. They basically just solve mathematical equations based off previous blocks and the codes in previous blocks to verify the transaction, which will, I don't want to get too deep into it on our first take, but that's what crypto is. It's a person-to-person payment processing network where instead of going through the bank or PayPal or Cash App or Venmo and having somebody have to verify the transactions and manage my money, specifically the bank or even the government with the bank, I can have all my money and I have access to it, and nobody's going to share that data. Nobody's going to have access to that data. And I'm in control of where I put it, where I invest it, and where it goes. And it's all out on the blockchain. The reason why it can't be duplicated or counterfeited because there's no tangible dollar. And when I worked at the bank, we used to always have to check, oh, is this money legit, or is this a fake bill? Is this counterfeit? Are these the same? Does it have the same lettering on the bill? Is it a copy? And you can't do that on the blockchain. Once you send something on the blockchain, it cannot be reversed, it cannot be duplicated, it cannot be changed. So if you call your bank and you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to send that money to Sarah, can you send it back to me? That third party person can do that, but on the blockchain, when you are accepting that you're going to have control over your own money, other people, when you send it to other people, your money to other people, you cannot get it back. Like, that transaction cannot be duplicated. Of course, somebody can send you the money back, but you can't do like a refund or a void and redo it. So hopefully that wasn't confusing to you. If you have questions, let me know. Like, this is a deep topic, so it's okay to not understand completely yet, but Bitcoin was a way to help people manage, protect, and have their own access to their own money and be able to send it, invest it, and have privacy with it without external forces like the bank or the government regulating our money, regulating our spending, regulating our investments. And that's why they're so upset about it, is because when we put more of our money into Bitcoin and crypto, which isn't regulated yet by the SEC, it's hard for them to track where our money is going. Which plays a factor into taxes, and obviously it's a risk. It's not regulated yet. Crypto's not regulated yet. It's a huge risk to get involved in it. But that's why, if you are educated and you do your work and you find trustworthy resources, this market has a lot of potential to be regulated in the best way possible and be able to teach people what this can become, which, again, as I've said throughout this whole podcast episode, we're going to talk about. So let's talk about World Liberty Financial. So this is Trump's new project. I believe both of his sons are running it. And they are basically just creating a platform just like any other blockchain platform where people are going to be able to manage their money and invest it and send it without other external governing parties regulating it. Another really good thing about crypto in that is when I want to send money to people, some of the blockchains offer such low fees. One of the biggest ones we're going to talk about is Ripple with XRP. I know that is going to buzz a lot of interest for some people. A lot of these blockchains and a lot of these programs allow you to make transactions and send money at much lower fees than like the bank might, for example. And again, you guys are sleeping on the bank, because when I worked at the bank, we used to do the foreign exchange, like the euro exchange. So somebody would come in and be like, yeah, I'm going on vacation. I need X amount of euros. Give me that for this dollar amount that I have. And we would have to convert euros, or we would have to convert USD to euros. It was a huge process. Instead of somebody doing that, now you have a platform. Same thing goes for the foreign exchange market, except the foreign exchange market, the only thing that's different there is that there are brokers involved. You need a broker. And again, next episode's all about the foreign exchange market, but crypto is really just you being independent with your money, being independent in having your own account, your own privacy, your own data, and nobody's really exploiting your money anymore. That comes with just like starting a business or having freedom. It comes at a price, but it's like, is that independence and that freedom worth it? And that's what a lot of people are questioning about crypto is, whoa, like, will banks exist? Like, will this affect the government, how much control the government has over us? These are all things we should be pondering and not really steering away from just because we lack the knowledge to understand. So the reason why I'm bringing up World Liberty Financial is because I love that Donald Trump wants to get more involved in crypto. I think crypto can be amazing. I think that there's so many opportunities within it. I think it could make our government more transparent. I think it could help, like I said, throughout the last, 10 minutes about protecting our data. So freaking Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook isn't sending out our data anymore, sending out how much I'm making a year or where I live, or it's just independence. Crypto has the opportunity to be independent. I think Trump supports it because a lot of our top competitors aren't doing it. And one of our top competitors that's not doing it is China. And that all goes back into energy consumption with crypto mining. And crypto mining is essential to verify transactions on the blockchain for people sending money and receiving money. So basically, crypto miners are like the bank. Crypto miners are like people that work at the bank. They are verifying transactions, making sure the blockchain is stable, making sure the blockchain is legit and accurate, and making sure that every transaction is being recorded and is justified, which is technically what the bank would do. And then you're relying on technology basically to kind of audit itself and make no reversals, no refunds, no voids. I think that's where Trump is seeing this, is a lot of our top competitors are not really getting involved in it. There are a lot of countries that are involved in crypto that could be seen as like competitors, but I'm talking like competitors as getting ahead in our technology, making our external forces, governing forces more transparent. And businesses, like, you can use this if you can use the blockchain if you have a supply chain business where all your transactions are being recorded at once. Oh, and what I wanted to say that might help you paint this picture a little bit better is at the bank, I don't want to be mean. There were older people that would come in with bank ledgers. So if somebody's a little bit older than me, they're obviously going to know about this, but younger generation might not. People would come in with a little notebook that is a bank ledger. So it stamps every single transaction. So if they came into the bank and they made a transaction, I would slip the book into the machine after the transaction was done, and it would print out that exact transaction and their balance. That's what the blockchain does. It is recording every single transaction from every single computer, that every person that's on a computer that is on the blockchain that is making a transaction. Everything is recorded. Nothing is duplicated. AI and technology is regulating it for us. I want to know what you guys think about Trump and about number one, his presidency, but also more specifically his presidency with crypto. What are your thoughts on it? What are your questions about crypto? Do you think that crypto is a good idea? What are the biggest risks in it? I want to hear from you. I want you to be just as much a part of this podcast as me, as we learn together. But obviously, I've hopefully made my case that I think crypto can be a really good thing. I think that it does need to be regulated. I think it's an entirely new market that we have really no idea about, no matter how much research we do, considering it's always growing. I think a lot of our world leaders, like Elon Musk or like Donald Trump, really care about crypto and see the potential in it. I think more people need to be educated on it correctly and feel like it's safe and okay. We all just need a safe platform to learn about crypto, to learn about the foreign exchange market. And here I am. I want to be that person for you. I hope you enjoyed the podcast episode. This was an amazing experience. I feel so grateful. This took so much courage for me to do today, just because I've been researching for 6 years and I've read and I've done the work, but it's just such a new market. You just never feel credible enough, which is a very humbling and good experience to have, because every day we're learning something new and we're approaching this with optimism. But I don't want to keep rambling on. I just want to say thank you guys. Before you go, check out the Fox website. Let me know if you have a question in the comments below. And if you want to be on the podcast, email us and let me know. I'm going to be posting once a week, and if you have a certain topic you want to talk about or whatever it is, let's definitely get it started, and let's get this project and this issue solved and where we need it to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next time on Cryptic Humility. I am Vanessa Hurley. Thank you.